invading homes and terrorizing neighborhoods.
His face is right there.
An uninvited subtropical iguana makes its way into the family room of an upscale house. A 250-pound boa constrictor wraps itself around the tire of a golf cart and will not go quietly.
I'm going to have to physically just go in and grab the snake.
Out of your mind?
A rhesus monkey holds an entire community hostage as it goes on a rampage in the streets.
Get inside your house!
These animals may not be on the attack, but they are definitely on the move. And what do you do when animals invade your city or town? Urban animal trappers are the only answer. In the next hour, you'll meet this country's best, brightest, and busiest trappers.
You call about a serpente?
And you'll witness their most difficult and dangerous cases. They're your last line of defense when animals invade your home. Hardwick has a unique and dangerous job. He is an animal trapper.
Okay, she's biting me.
Together with his wife, Jill, they patrol southern Florida.
We're looking for an alligator that was spotted in here. I've been scratched, bitten, kicked, battered. Every day is an adventure.
When it's too dangerous for the cops, too hot for the fire department, too creepy for you and me. Todd Hardwick, one of America's best-known trappers, gets the call.
Calm down, we can help.
Above all, Todd's an animal lover.
Feel how smooth his belly is. That's the real.
Driven by a respect for the creatures he pursues.
Basically, our job is to protect people from wild animals and also wild animals from people. That'll take care of that situation.
An emergency call comes in from the Homestead Police
All right,
Department.
good luck.
Frantic residents of a Miami suburb are in a panic.
We've got a call about a monkey at the front door of a house. It won't let the people come out. It's pounding on the windows and the doors, trying to get in their house, and they're really scared. Hopefully, it won't tear us up. Monkeys can be quite dangerous. Some of them can carry some really nasty diseases.
Get inside your house!
There's a wild monkey running around here.
Arriving at the scene, Todd finds homeowners running through the streets. A pet African rhesus monkey is on the loose. A bite from this type of animal could be fatal.
Get inside your house!
As a precaution, Todd is armed with a harmless tranquilizer dart gun.
These kind of monkeys can carry hepatitis, tuberculosis, but the thing that would be most dangerous is the simian herpes B virus, which is deadly and transmittable to humans. It goes up.
Capturing the lightning-fast animal is going to be a real challenge. The monkey shields itself in the tree.
All right, we need that electrical bucket truck.
Before Todd can get to the branch-clinging monkey, the spooked creature suddenly bolts, sending the neighborhood into a frenzy. The rhesus is able to dash across the neighborhood at 40 miles an hour. If diseased, it can infect an innocent bystander in the blink of an eye.
They need to back off a little bit.
You won't believe where the escaped monkey ends up next.
Back in the tree, back in the hole. No, by the palm tree.
Only inches from a transformer carrying 40,000 volts of sudden death.
We got it.
If Todd doesn't dart him now with his tranquilizer, this monkey is a goner.
Top off the pole!
Instead of going down, the primate becomes more agitated, using a high-voltage wire as a dangerous escape route.
This ain't even funny anymore.
If Todd and police don't contain the acrobatic animal to this area, the monkey could end up anywhere, further endangering himself and others.
Problem is, we're going with a low dose on these animals because we don't have the exact weight. And then when we start chasing, the adrenaline kicks in and it's counteracting the drug. But it's better to low dose than, you know, kill a monkey.
Dazed by the drugs and hanging 60 feet above the ground, the hope now is the monkey will get back to the pole before falling to his death.
There he goes, there he goes.
After nearly 2 hours on the run, the monkey finally gives up, sliding down the pole into Todd's net.
You bad monkey!
Got the Todd.
But the tension isn't over yet.
During the capture, the monkey bled on me, and I also have gotten cut due to the chasing going on out here. So we're using antiviral foams right now to kill any possible viruses or germs until we can run blood work on these monkeys and confirm that there's nothing to be worried about.
After an anxious couple of days, Todd learns the monkey is disease-free. The exotic pet is returned to its owner, safe and unharmed.
Were y'all holding your breath when he was climbing that transformer? I was like, there goes a crispy critter.
Get inside your house! This ain't even funny anymore. Take it all the best. We got it.
You bad monkey!
You might expect an eagle, a birdie, even a tiger on a golf course, but not this. A group of golfers get the scare of their lives as a big and mean 9-foot, 200-pound Colombian red-tailed boa wraps itself around the wheel of their golf cart and isn't budging, so they call Todd.
That's a big snake.
A boa constrictor has 2-inch fangs that lock onto its prey. Then it squeezes its victim with its powerful body until the animal or person suffocates.
Oh, baby, I got his tonsils. Oh,
This snake started out as a pet. Its owner released it when it became too big. In the wild, the snake reverts back to its deadly instincts.
Hero, these snakes will put a hurt on you.
This animal can strike with pinpoint accuracy in as little as a tenth of a second.
This side. I'm gonna have to physically just go in and grab the snake and put it into a garbage can. So
are you out of your mind? Holy heebie-jeebie.
Knowing snakes are attracted to enclosed spaces, Todd lays a garbage can on its side, hoping the huge reptile will slither in.
Hi.
But it's too smart for that, and too nasty.
He has a forward lunge a third of the length, so 5-6 feet out, he can get you.
Todd grabs his snake hook, a unique tool used by handlers and trappers alike.
Now you really mad, ain't you?
She's really pissed.
Using a towel to disorient it, Todd hopes to take the snake by surprise.
Now, if something should go wrong and the snake ends up on me, everybody just relax and stay calm. Come on over here a minute. Pick up right in here. Here, nice and easy, nice and easy.
It takes 4 grown men to lift this huge boa.
Ready? Hang on.
And that's how you catch a snake.
This snake won't be bothering any golfers again, and was given a home in a state-funded wildlife sanctuary.
Hi, did you call about a lizard in the house?
Please hurry, come this way, in here.
A Florida housewife wakes up to an exotic home invader.
It's like really big, okay? It's in there.
You don't like lizards?
No, I don't like lizards.
All right,
Okay?
where
I
was
really
he,
don't
where was
like
he last?
I'm not sure. It was by the door.
That is a big lizard.
Go get it! Oh, God! Don't it!
Also known as a Colombian iguana, it's a discarded pet that outgrew its cage. The spiny 5-foot, 25-pound reptile wanders in through an open door.
They're really common here. See this big bush right here? This is hibiscus. That's their favorite plant. He's probably out there eating the hibiscus and got in here by accident. Actually, he doesn't look too friendly. It's a big male.
Got all your trees down.
See how he's posturing? Ah, that stunk.
The iguana protects itself by using its tail like a bullwhip. Todd learns the hard way the iguana's defense method.
There he goes, Joe. Coming your way. Watch the door.
Is he coming from behind?
Boy, he's pissed off now.
After a hand-to-claw struggle, Todd finally makes the capture.
Got me, clawed me.
What may look like a scary prehistoric beast to some
No. You just keep it over there.
That's a beautiful animal.
is a thing of beauty to Todd and Jill.
That's a pretty good sized lizard. Good bag. Oh, see what he did in my arm with his claw. I don't think anybody's gonna want this guy.
The Colombian iguana that terrifies the Miami mother becomes a welcome addition to Todd's extended family of rescued animals.
We have a new friend here. He's gonna join the sanctuary.
What started out as a temporary haven for wayward creatures has turned into a permanent backyard sanctuary, filled with everything feathered, furry, scaled, and shelled.
Regardless of whether they're big, bad, or scary, there's a place in our heart for all of these animals. You know, when we get involved, it's because there's a threat to people, property, or their pets. That doesn't always mean it's the animal's fault. And that's why we take great pleasure in sponsoring and providing this sanctuary to these unwanted animals, if you can even call them that.
Next, alligators. They're some of the Earth's fiercest creatures. And Todd gets called in to pull one from beneath a quiet neighborhood street.
Alligator's backing up into the pipe. Not what I want him to do.
Another scares police when it ends up in a used car lot. Oh. And dozens threaten to make lunch out of a rancher's herd of cattle. Plus, a rare African animal makes a run for a crowded highway. A woman needs Todd to rescue her from a creature that's moved into her garage. A school employee is terrorized by hundreds of bats.
Larry, they're still all over.
Coming up later, a snake of monstrous proportions does battle with Todd. Animals are on the move when Animals Invade Your Home continues.
Calm down. No, whoa, slow down. No, we can help you.
Trapper Todd Hardwick gets an early morning call about a gator in a sewer.
10 foot. In Florida, alligators in sewers and storm drains is an everyday reality. The reports are that he's been banging his head against these grates trying to get out.
Although common, there's nothing routine about a gator capture.
He's about 40 feet in. I can see his red eyes glowing in the tunnel. And he is big. He's every bit of 6.5, if not 7 feet long.
This alligator became a prisoner in the storm drain while searching for food.
He's not happy to see me. He didn't ever expect to see me down in this pipe with him.
Todd has no choice but to go in after the hungry gator.
The alligator's backing up into the pipe. Not what I want him to do.
Todd uses a catch pole specially designed to wrap a wire noose around its jaw.
Oh, it's got my pipe. Oh,
Todd uses every bit of his strength to reel in the resistant reptile.
who can outlast who? And who?
The sewer space is too cramped for Todd to tape the jaws shut. Not only that, this gator has become tangled in discarded fishing line.
I'm gonna have to bring him out of here untaped and battle him above ground. Oh, big alligator out of that fight. He's gonna come out of here and try to take somebody into a death row.
Not your everyday sight for the residents of this Miami suburb, who luckily were spared the wrath of the 90-pound eating machine. For Todd, though, it's another day, another gator. Except Todd is surprised to learn this creature has a special problem. Somehow, this alligator has lost its left eye, making survival in the wild virtually impossible. So Todd brings the gator home, adding yet another creature he names Wally to the Hardwick family.
Hey, wow, this is Wally's favorite, raw chicken.
One-eyed Wally, as he's been nicknamed, has literally gone from the gutter to his own gator sanctuary, a haven where he'll be cared for years to come.
We're going to be on an unusual rescue mission today. We're going to be going out and rounding up a bunch of cattle that have found themselves in a flood environment due to the recent rains we've had. Whenever you have water, you have alligators.
Monsoon rains turn an area outside of Orlando into a swamp of death.
3 weeks ago, this was just dirt.
Panicked ranchers are losing livestock to a steadily rising river. If they don't get the herd to dry land, the cattle will die. Cows are drowning and are under attack from the deadly jaws of dozens of gators. Rancher John Tanner lost 3 calves already and turns to Todd for help.
I mean, if we was to get 20 more inches, they'd drown them.
It's a high-tech and desperate roundup. As Todd and the ranchers move out in airboats, but the situation is bleak. Several cows have broken from the herd, and hordes of hungry gators circle for their next meal. What makes this rescue attempt even more dangerous is the cunning, stealth-like strike of a gator. They can submerge for up to 30 minutes and attack without warning. Even the animals Todd is trying to help pose a threat to the rescue team. One bull strays far from the herd, deeper into gator-infested waters. There's no time to guide him back. Splashing attracts gators. They'll only have seconds to make their rescue.
Take advantage that way.
Most of the herd is safe now. There are just a few stragglers left to rescue. Suddenly, Todd spots a small, weaker calf who can't keep up. The baby is an easy target for the gators. Todd's got no choice but to go in. The team rescue pays off. After a long 15-hour day, the herd is finally safe and returned to dry land.
We're on our way right now to an alligator emergency. The police department is reporting that there's a 6.5-foot alligator in the parking lot of a car dealership.
Miami's finest are not only on the scene, but above it. These cops are used to dealing with hardened criminals. But when it comes to handling a 7-foot gator, they do what they always do. Call Todd. What starts out as a routine capture gets out of control in seconds. Suddenly, the gator goes into a violent death roll, a defense mechanism used to take down larger prey. Its spinning body rips the catch pole from Todd's hands. The pole now becomes a weapon as the gator continues to roll. Once the gator settles down, Todd decides to make his move. He seals its jaws shut with a little help from a gutsy Miami cop. And the gator is on its way back to the Everglades. Still ahead, rattlesnakes. They're some of the deadliest creatures on Earth. And this one's gotten into the children's room. A homeowner finds a wildly unwelcome guest using his bathroom.
Boy, this thing is creepy looking.
A housewife takes refuge behind closed doors from what Todd finds lurking in her garage. Plus, Bats threaten to delay the first day of classes at this school.
They're flying all around my head.
And raccoons. They may look cute, but these invaders put up an ugly fight. But first, an endangered species from the wilds of Africa ends up on the streets of Florida.
This is damn dangerous.
Whoa, whoa!
The untamed world meets the civilized world when animals invade your home returns.
We just got a really strange call. A local animal dealer and broker was shipping an African oryx to a zoo in the Caribbean, and when he went to open the stall, it knocked him down and is now running down the street, making its getaway.
Trapper Todd Hardwick arrives, armed with his tranquilizer gun, just in case the exotic creature charges. The animal dealer has already been kicked in the face.
Look at those antlers.
The oryx is a beautiful creature, but deadly. The shear-like horns can tear a wild bull to pieces in seconds.
So this is an oryx from Africa? This is one mean-looking beast.
Now Todd must wrangle a dangerous animal he's never seen before.
What was this thing called again, this animal? An oryx.
Next time you hear that, tell people you don't want nothing to do with the song.
This is damn dangerous.
The oryx is considered an endangered species. Only a few hundred remain worldwide. So Todd has to be especially careful.
This thing gives me the chills. I can just picture one of those things spearing into me.
After an hour of chasing, the oryx tires and lies down. Time to move in.
Yell if I have to run.
Todd's wife and assistant, Jill, who's videotaping the action, is not too thrilled about helping with this challenging assignment.
No, I'm not coming up there.
Come on up here, Jill.
You come over here. I'm not going in there. I quit. I'm getting ready to get in the truck.
Todd finally convinces Jill to move in closer, but she has good reason to worry.
Oh, he's up.
The horned beast suddenly bolts, missing people by inches. The near capture turns into a wild pursuit. Now, the panicked animal is headed straight for a crowded highway.
Oh, stupid dude.
But seconds before the runaway reaches the open road, the animal dealer atop his ATV throws caution to the wind and literally grabs the wild animal by the horns.
Yell at me if I have to run. I can't see.
The capture becomes a Wild West roundup, turning Todd into a real-life cowboy.
Let's get that trail.
I think they got it. It's his.
Let's get that lariat off his neck so he can get that airway open.
The escapee is reunited unharmed to its handler and sent on its way to the zoo. And everyone else has survived their close encounter with the exotic oryx. There's a monster loose in Fort Lauderdale. At least that's what homeowner Isabel Fernandez thinks.
Relax for me. Don't be too excited. Now, explain to me what is going on here. They said you found a huge monster in the garage.
I don't know what it is, but I came over here to do my laundry. I heard growling,
Okay.
and I opened the door.
All right, don't open it now. Show me what door it was. That door there?
I don't know
Okay.
what it is.
What did you see?
What I saw just teeth.
Big teeth.
I mean, big teeth.
Okay.
Isabel's got reason to worry. Her cat is missing.
Cabinet to see what you saw.
We have a cat, and as a matter of fact, we can't find our cat.
Okay.
And I mean, we don't know what it is. We don't know where our cat is.
It was in here, you saw, and the door was open a little bit.
It's open.
So you kind of slammed it and ran for your life. Okay. That is a huge possum.
Todd suits up for battle. His only defense against the razor-sharp teeth of a possum. Special protective gloves. Todd's got to reposition the possum to make the capture. He's trying to grab its tail and avoid the sharp mouthful of fangs designed to tear through flesh. Todd's not hurting the possum. The tail is one of the strongest parts of its wiry body.
You think he could have done something to a cat?
I would try to find the cat and check him for bites.
When the dust settles, this possum's caged up and headed back to the wild. As for Isabel's missing cat, she shows up without a scratch.
We're about to arrive here where a lady has discovered some sort of creature in her sister's garage. She didn't tell you about anything living in the garage?
No, there's nothing supposed to be alive in the garage. That right behind that, did you see it?
Todd discovers the monster is just a baby possum, so he has a little fun.
Well, it's a cat. You want to come look at it?
No, it's a cat.
Oh, it's one of your neighbor's cats.
You're kidding.
Now, come on over here and take a look.
No way.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's not a cat.
Oh, God, I saw the tail.
Is it a rat?
I don't know. It's something I don't like.
Now it's back to the wild for this little guy. Next, there's some of the most difficult animals to trap. Bats. They dive. They creep. They bite. And they're about to keep this school from opening on time. Plus, raccoons fight back when a trapper tries to remove them from the roof of a home. And Todd wrestles for his life with a gigantic snake. The wild world collides with urban sprawl when animals invade your home continues.
I've got a call from a Christian school over at Hollister, the New Life Academy, and they have called me and said they've got a extensive bat problem. Hi.
Hi.
You Miss Suckman?
I am. How are you?
Hi, Larry Thorne with Critter
Glad
Control.
to see you. I am
Good.
totally freaking out. I was here
Here's my
working till
card.
2 o'clock in the morning last night, and as I told you on the phone, these bats were, I mean, literally diving down and trying to hit me on the head.
Is that right, Will?
I was freaking out.
Tara Suckland, a school volunteer, has the responsibility of getting the facility ready for opening day. Tara guides Larry to the attic opening. She waits outside, where she thinks she will be safe. Larry, using a night scope, evaluates the situation. The camera spots a small flurry of activity. Unaware when the light comes on, he will be faced with the worst bat infestation he has ever seen.
You said there was a lot of them. You wasn't joking. I mean, there must be hundreds of these things.
Bats are known carriers of rabies. One bite, and Larry knows he'll have to endure several extremely painful anti-rabies shots.
Never seen so many dadgum bats. I mean, there must be hundreds in this building.
The normal process to remove bats is to install a one-way door, but that could take days. Larry knows soon this building will be filled with children. The bats take him by surprise. No time to get his protective suit out of the truck. Armed with only a fishing net and his bite-proof gloves, he tries to snatch the creepy invaders from the air one by one as they dive for his head.
There is just a lot of bats in here. And they're not too happy.
With temperatures in the attic reaching well over 120 degrees, Larry feels like he's entered the gates of hell.
Golly!
Tara is terrified as the overflow of riled-up, crazed bats spills out of the attic and into the nearby corridor where she is waiting.
They're flying all around my head. Oh, gosh.
Be careful. You said there was a lot in here, and you weren't lying, I'll tell you.
With the worst over and more than 60 bats snared in his cage, Larry takes the catch from the attic.
I'm shaking all over. My whole body is shaking. Look at this flashlight.
Be careful. I'll catch a few more, and then we'll install bat check valves on the outside.
And I won't have to worry about these kids anymore.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'll take care of the situation. I'll guarantee that.
Now, you take them out in the country and let them go, and they'll find a perfect place to live, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I appreciate you calling me, and I'll see you after a while. I'll be back.
God bless you, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a battle Larry and Tara will not soon forget.
They're flying all around my head. Oh, gosh.
It's 10:30. We just received a call for a lady that has 2 raccoons that were peering out a hole in her roof at her.
When wild animals cross the line and venture into the homes surrounding the Windy City, even the police call Brad Lundstein, Chicago's premier animal trapper.
We looked up, and a head popped out of there, and it was a raccoon.
Raccoons tend to settle in the hollow trunks of trees, but they don't know a tree from a house. They're in so deep, Brad's got to rip the roof open just to get to the furry invaders.
Oh, there's Mom.
Oh, see
Here, Brad. Shine it right up in here.
Does she look healthy?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
You're going to see just how healthy she is in about 2 seconds.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. Raccoons look cute and cuddly, but these ring-tailed animals can be vicious and also carry a wide variety of diseases. Armed with protective gloves and a catch pole specially equipped with a tiny camera, Brad goes in for the capture.
Okay, do or die.
He sets the noose around Mama's body and pulls her toward the opening. Brad's been capturing raccoons for over 15 years, but it looks like he's finally met his match. A bad time for him to be reminded. This crazed animal's a carnivore. Even though Brad's gloves are made from Kevlar, the same material used in bulletproof vests, the vice-like jaws of the vicious raccoon still send a painful message.
Oh, God! That's gonna leave a mark.
Over the next half hour, Brad removes 3 more raccoons. But not without suffering a few more battle scars.
So I got bit, scratched, and peed on all in one day.
But the day ain't over. It isn't long before Brad's on yet another raccoon call. This one, a family of critters escaping the summer heat and living in a chimney.
Did you hear like chattering sounds?
Yes, I
And
think
squealing?
they're arguing.
Like arguing? Okay, so there's probably a family of them then?
Yes.
More than one animal?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like we got a mom and let's see, 1, 2, let's see, at least 2 babies.
The babies are less than a month old, and they're trapped in the chimney's damper. One wrong move could crush them. But Brad must get Mom out first. He's got to move fast.
Okay. That's Mom. Okay, let me get in there and get these babies out. See how they hide their eyes when they're scared? It says, you can't see me, I can't see you. Yeah, just like us. Yeah, look, that's what they do. That's one of their things when they're scared. They'll hide their eyes.
Brad goes on to save a total of 6 babies. All of them returned to their mom. A family reunited out of harm's way.
We're all set.
Coming up, spiders and snakes. They're the nightmarish creatures we fear most. A trapper is out to catch a deadly rattlesnake before it attacks people inside their own house. Plus, a tarantula finds its way into the tub.
I'd rather be out working an alligator than this thing.
And Todd traps the largest boa constrictor he's ever seen and pays a hefty price. It's nature versus neighborhoods when animals invade your home returns.
It appears as though this client might have a snake in his house. He's not sure. He thinks he saw something slithering down the hallway and possibly into his kid's room.
Tucson trapper Dave Perwin knows better than anyone how out in the Arizona desert there's a fine line between the wild and civilization. Homeowner Paul Schofield gets the shock of his life when he walks into his kid's room and hears the sound of a rattle, and it was not one of their toys.
Saw this snake going under there. The thing is freaking huge.
It's every parent's worst nightmare. A poisonous snake on the loose in a house full of kids.
I haven't seen it come out.
Luckily, the father spotted the serpent and moved his children to safety. The trapper carefully enters the kid's bedroom wearing protective gloves. Now it's up to Dave to find the venomous creature before it finds him.
So I think you're crazy for standing there, though. That thing could be anywhere.
Yeah, definitely be careful.
Dave knows the innocent play toys of a child can become a treacherous hiding spot for this deadly invader. Suddenly, the unmistakable sound of a rattle comes from a toy chest in the dark closet.
I think we found it. Okay, I'm ready. That is a western diamondback rattlesnake, our most common rattlesnake of the area. They're very dangerous. Lightning quick strike. They can get into the small spaces.
It's terrifying to think that less than an hour ago, 2 tiny children were playing in this very room.
Oh, I can't believe all the rooms it takes my kids' room. I'm just so happy that they're gone.
He uses special tongs designed to harmlessly grab it.
I can't believe they got down in there.
Dave grabs it around the midsection where the snake's weight is evenly distributed.
I've got a good grip on him. Not too tight, but not too loose. And into the net he goes. From here, I'm going to get this animal out of the client's house as quickly as possible.
To the relief of this dad, his home is again secure. They head 20 miles out into the Arizona desert, where it's safely released.
I'm glad you're here, man. There's something in my house. It's a big spider. I don't know what the thing is, but I want it out of there.
Well, you're lucky. We normally don't do spiders, but you kind of got my curiosity up because you're saying it's like as big as a tarantula.
There was a guy that lived here before me. I've only lived here a little while, and he had all sorts of weird pets, so he probably brought it here. But, you know, just get it out of my house. In fact, I'm going to walk behind you, man, please.
Well, show me where
It's in there.
Now, I'm not a big fan of spiders.
What trappers Todd and Jill find waiting for them in the bathroom is indeed a tarantula. Normally found in the rainforests of South America, one bite can send you to the hospital. His wife Jill hates spiders even more than Todd.
Yeah, I think you should get a pest control company. We don't do spiders. Man.
This is the mother of all spiders. This is a tarantula of some kind.
This is a new one on Todd.
Kind of learn as we go here.
Better you than me.
This breed of tarantula is poisonous. Todd dons his protective gloves, as this capture requires careful attention.
Boy, this thing is creepy looking.
Using a good old-fashioned notepad, Todd reluctantly coaxes it from the tub.
Giving me chills. I'd rather be out working an alligator than this thing. I am not a spider guy. I mean, look how fat his legs are and how hairy he is. I don't really even have anything to put him in. We're just going to have to put him in the truck.
No.
I've got a cup, I think, in the truck, but look at that.
All right, man.
That's a spider.
This hairy intruder eventually found a more welcome home in a Miami high school classroom.
Well, our first spider call.
And last, you know, that's enough of spiders.
Next, Todd faces the biggest challenge of his trapping career. When Animals Invade Your Home returns. If you have a story that you think we should know about, call us toll-free at 1-877-947-8369. That's 1-877-947-8369.
We're on our way right now to a call, very excited Spanish-speaking caller screaming on the phone about a serpente and grande, and I think he's trying to say that there's a large snake. You call about a serpente? Did you get bit? You're sure you're okay, right? No bite? I'll find the serpente. Go over here. Okay. All right, Jill, you got a snake bag?
The shed is filled with clutter.
This is snake paradise. They don't even have a door on this shed.
There are hundreds of dark, damp places in this shed for the snake to hide. The danger to Todd, it can strike from any direction without warning.
Oh, I think we need a bigger bag. Oh, here he comes, Jill. Jill, give me the snake stick. Oh, damn, that's a big python.
Todd has found a 16-foot, 100-pound Burmese python that can squeeze a man to death in minutes. These exotic snakes come from Southeast Asia. This one undoubtedly started out as a pet, but its sudden aggressive movements tell Todd it's been living in the wild, devouring rats, cats, and other small animals.
A little pissy, a little aggressive in his movements.
The evasive snake is coiled around a rafter. Todd has no choice but to go in after it with his bare hands.
That's not a good idea.
I know. Hang on. Oh, I got the head.
Well, now what? What are you doing?
Trying to hang on to the damn thing.
Stop. Now.
No. Ah.
Todd and the python fall 10 feet to the pavement.
Get up.
Hang on. Get up.
In a frightening turn of events, the hunter now becomes the hunted. The snake squeezes tighter and tighter around Todd's neck. If Jill doesn't break it loose, Todd could suffocate.
Got him? Oh, man, that hurt. Oh, that hurt. Hold that head. He's pissed off. And I'm glad I had you with me today. It happened so fast. I grabbed his head, and I grabbed for a rafter. All of a sudden, we hit the ground. I have no idea what happened. And the next thing I knew, he was coiled up on my neck, and he was putting a squeeze on me. All right, get me the bigger bag that's in the truck, and let's see if we can get him in that bag.
Okay.
With Jill's help, Todd bags the snake. But this ordeal is not over yet.
You were loud. Struck me.
It takes only a fraction of a second for this creature to leave its painful mark.
For a split second, I had to release his head to get him down in the bag, and as I released, he made his move. This is the thing with this work. What looked somewhat under control turned real bad real fast in here.
Todd knows this better than anyone. In this case, the Asian python is only acting on jungle instinct. But Todd acts out of compassion, and despite his wounds, Todd and Jill take this serpent back home to their backyard sanctuary.
Grande serpente, very grande. Yeah, you were right.